Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Libra in mid-October 2019. Hello, Libra. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. All right, guys, right off the bat, happy birthday to all you Libras who are celebrating here in the middle point of October and towards the end of your birthday season. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And same to those who were celebrating at the end of September. If you were early Libra and your birthday is several weeks away at this point, I hope you also had an amazing time. All right, guys. And also, happy Halloween who will be celebrating, having a good time, dressing up, eating tons of candy, taking your kids out trick-or-treating, whatever you do to celebrate. I hope that is also an amazing time for you. All right, guys, let's get into it. Libra, shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. Timestamps will be in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Feel free to email me beforehand in case you have a clarifying question, you're curious about something not specifically related to your tarot question, but what can you expect, or you want clarification on what you're getting. I don't know, something like that. But don't be like, so I have this guy and he's on my mind and I was wondering. That's what the reading is for. Okay. All right, guys, let's get into it. I want to see the outcome for Libra in mid-October 2019. Eight of Swords popped out here in my hand. Eight of Swords. So maybe feeling stuck, maybe feeling a little caught up in a situation, not knowing how to exit a situation or how to alleviate some kind of stress or alleviate some type of tension in a situation, or just feeling, inundated and burdened or, trapped. That's usually some of the feelings that we get from the Eight of Swords. Anyway, outcome for Libra in mid-October, please. Outcome for Libra in mid-October, please show me. There it goes. Thank you. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Okay. And let's flip what came face down. If I could pick it up. Thank you. Beautiful. Maybe beautiful. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And I'm pretty sure we look pretty good on camera. Yeah, it'll do. It'll do. All right, guys, let's get into it. Please show me where Libra is in mid-October 2019. Please show me where Libra is in mid-October 2019. Please show me. Yes, okay, thank you. All right, guys. Before I pick this card up, and it won't really apply, you kind of have to take my word for it. When I was shuffling this deck, meditating on it, getting in touch with your energy, Libra, there was like a lot of hesitation. I was getting like in my meditation, I speak out loud while I'm shuffling, and what was going on was I was getting tongue-tied. I wasn't saying the words correctly, and it just was not, my communication felt off. I don't know if that'll play here, but I felt compelled to share that information with you. If that is something that you're dealing with right now, that might be why I was having trouble even getting myself in a clear point of communication. Okay? Now, that said, you come into your reading today, Libra, with the Temperance card. Major Arcana for Sagittarius. You might be dealing with the Sagittarius, but it's a general, so that is neither here nor there. You apply it if it applies to your life. Now, Temperance, as you can kind of see with the artwork here, is all about balance, right? It's all about finding that intermediate space or that middle ground and really being settled and calm and peaceful and mindful and just careful. Sure, careful, because careful can sort of be the antithesis of being reckless or careless, right? um one foot is in the water. Excuse me. One foot is in the water, one foot is on the stones or the rocks outside of the water. So again, it's like that middle ground between the water, which is your emotions, and being caught up in those emotions or allowing those emotions to run wild, versus having one foot on the stones or the ground, which is to be firmly placed in reality, to not let yourself get all full of fantasy or again, your emotions run away with you. So I feel you're striking this balance. If you are not, you probably should. Because, as this is a major arcana, it's speaking thematically. Sometimes it does embody a person, or comes in the form of a person, or comes in the form of certain situations. Gosh, I just put situations and circumstances together. Situations or circumstances in your life. I feel this is a call to action for you, or like I said, some of you are already embodying this energy and you're really utilizing this energy and you're really focused on that. And I think that's really healthy. Like, that's the other thing about this, is like a healthy balance. Again, if you're too firmly in your emotions, they run wild, you get out of control, you get illusions and delusions and just caught up in fantasies, right? And nothing is real, or nothing is really accountable, or nothing is really tangible, right? The opposite is also true. If you're constantly wrapped up in reality and you're constantly focused on what you can see, touch, taste, hear, and smell, and relying purely on your five senses, you're kind of missing out on the beauty of life, or the mystery of life, or just the connection you can have to life here on earth that is beyond the physical. Okay? Very spiritual, this feels like. Now, spiritual can mean so many things. Don't take it to mean like you have to be like dressing in robes and walking around with prayer beads or a rosary or anything like that. It's just whatever your definition of spiritual is. That's what this feels like. And if you're not doing this, again, I think many of you are already here. I think some of you are not here. And I don't know why you're not, because most of the time, if not all the time, temperance is a positive card. Either it's encouraging you to stay the course, mind how you move and navigate through a situation, trying to be fair, trying to be balanced, trying to be calm and collected, or it's encouraging you that you need to start in on that work. You know what I mean? Like, how is that ever, quote unquote, a bad thing? Is what I'm tempted to ask you with, because I feel certain parts of this collective Libra energy is resistant or not believing in this. And if you're the Libra watching, or you're the cross watcher, or whatever, if you're the person who's resistant, why are you watching this or any other tarot reading? I'm not trying to discourage you. I thank you for being here, and I would encourage you to watch until the end. But it's like again, I think that's okay. Thank you. That's where that is. That's the person, or that's the side of the energy that's leaning heavily on the ground, heavily on the physical, heavily on that earth-like energy, which is if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. If I can't hear it, it was never said, or it never made a sound. If I can't taste it, then, whatever. You're relying on your primary senses only, or primarily, primary senses primarily, and that is needing to be opened up, is what that feels like. It needs to be opened up. Now, that's interesting. It's a very, like I said, this is a very spiritual feeling that I have. And interestingly enough, I'm doing 6 readings today. Yours is the first that's giving me this calm feeling. Everybody else I've been kind of agitated. Everybody else I've been kind of like high energy. This is the first reading where I feel actually pretty mellow. I don't really feel combative or friction, really. So that's good. Now, what else is going on? Ah, you got a lot of things to be happy about, it looks like. No wonder. No wonder. So it feels like, Libra, are we going in here? Are we going in there? Ooh. Let me see. Yes, we're going in there. Interesting. All right, guys. This is interesting because if you're new to my channel, this will be maybe the first time you've seen me say this. If you're a returning viewer, you might already know. These three cards together are what I call a triplet. In the mids, I only ever aim to lay a 4-card spread. You obviously have 5 cards here in the main. So you have 2 cards in one position, making this triangular shape, which I call a triplet. The triplet often will tell a supplemental or complementary story to the main outside 2 cards. And I often don't jump between them. I usually talk about one side or the other first, and then I move to the other side. This is interesting. I started out here. Now I'm going to talk about the triplet. I think what's giving you either the security, interesting word, giving you the security, the nerve or the confidence or the awareness to go into that temperance energy is all here in your triplet. Your inspiration, your motivation, your consequence, maybe, if it's not coming to you specifically in a positive way, because even though I'm calm and even though most of these cards here, if not all, are positive in a sense, you may have come from turbulent waters is kind of what I'm getting, which is why you would be either smack dab in the middle of temperance or about to embark on a journey towards solidifying your temperance, solidifying your balance, solidifying and or obtaining your peace and serenity. Okay, now into the triplet. Here we go. Yeah, I think that you're enlightened. That's a huge word. What's going on with you, Libra? I think that you've been enlightened to something. Yeah? Okay, thank you. I think you've really woken up to some type of clarity or some type of insight. Oh, I'm all... Did I do that? Oh, it's touching the chair. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. That was going to bother me. Because I shake my... I'm like moving my legs underneath this table. Anyway. So I think that you... they just keep saying awakened, awakened, awakened. And like showing me either people literally waking up or people like having a eureka moment. So if it's not about being awakened spiritually, being awakened in something that deals with metaphysical work or esoteric work or anything like that, or just your own personal healing, your own personal wellness, if it's not that, I literally think it's like a eureka, like a aha. You know, you've had a bright idea or you've been struck by inspiration. You've been struck with some type of light. Really, you've been struck with some type of light. Sun card. Major Arcana, excuse me, secondary Major Arcana for Leo. So there might be a Leo in your life who is significant, but does not have to be. This is your point of inspiration, whether it's a person or an event, circumstances, bright ideas. I don't care. This is your point, like your muse almost, you know. It's not here on this card, but sometimes some of the traditional depictions will show an infant on a baby, or an infant on a horse. So some of you may be pregnant or may have given birth recently, or you know, your partner gave birth or whatever, and now there's like this new dawn in your life, this new horizon that you're looking at, this new bountiful, plentiful future, and you feel really inspired and you're like lit up like a Christmas tree or something over this person, this event, this, again, idea. Maybe you've had a breakthrough on your personal development journey. Maybe you've had a breakthrough in therapy. Maybe you've hit a milestone in your health, a recovery program that you might be in, whatever it is. I think that once this moment, this person or whatever enters your life, Libra, it's like, I got it. I got it. This is what I'm here to do. This is who I'm here to be. This is how I'm meant to move forward. This is how I'm going to not be happy, but this is a part of my happiness. This is an element that adds to my life fulfillment and my contentment in life. And it's just wonderful. Congratulations. Second card out with it is the Hierophant. Major Arcana for Taurus. So again, you might be dealing with a Taurus, but you don't have to be. Now, immediately I get marriage, because this is one of the cards that can signal marriage, in that it talks about churches and organized religions. It often talks about contracts or unions or official sacred bonds. Yeah. So some of you have gotten married recently, or maybe if not married, engaged, or you've met the person that you know you're going to marry. Something like that. All right. That's not for everybody, obviously. But for some of you, that is definitely there. But beyond that, this feels like, this Hierophant and Sun combination feels like the Hierophant, in a very general way, lays out the rules and regulations of life, of society, of a company, of a church, of an organization, of a family, whatever. This person or energy usually is the one that holds sacred texts, gives you insight into what those texts mean, the purpose, the lessons. And this is usually like a person, like not an entity, like a person, like a teacher, a mentor, a priest, a rabbi, you know, that kind of stuff. The head of a household, so a mother, a father, something like that. Coming here with the Sun, I feel as though you either are feeling that is who you are, who you're meant to be, Libra. I'm meant to be the head of a household. I'm meant to be the head of a corporation, or the head of, you know, this organization. You know, basically I'm meant to be in a position of leadership, or if not leadership directly, because I don't see the Hierophant as somebody who gets out and leads the charge, you know, leads by example. This is leading by decree. This is leading by talking or writing, or, you know, creating messages for the masses, that kind of thing. Now, I don't know what that means to you, but it certainly is a place of pride, or a place of privilege and power that must be, maybe not must be, but often comes with a huge weight of responsibility and accountability, sure, because in some cases you could argue that certain heads of organizations or groups of people are not accountable, even though they're the one leading the charge. But whatever. Libra, it feels like you realize you have more control or sway or influence than you ever thought you had. You have more power. Didn't I say somewhere in here about the metaphysical and the esoteric? And I did earlier use the word spiritual, and I was like, I don't really know what that means to you, and I still don't. You know, everybody has their own personal opinions or definitions for words. But maybe some of you are realizing you are this, what you're watching right now. You're meant to be a tarot reader, or you're meant to deal with mediumship if you're more clairvoyant or precognitive or anything like that. Maybe you're meant to be a healer. You know, maybe you're meant to be, you know, in the arts. The arts or the practice of healing. So Reiki master, physical therapist, massage therapist, yoga instructor, things like this, where you're leading and you're a member of a group, a bigger group of spiritualism, or you're a bigger group of excuse me, because I mean, I'm not a psychic myself, and I'm not a medium at all. But I assume a lot of those people, if they don't know each other, there is sort of like, maybe there's like a listserv for people like that. I don't know. But there's, if I have to be honest, this particular Hierophant is a little more laid back than any other depiction. Like, if you know what the tarot Hierophant looks like, or traditional depictions look like, that looks more like a pope or a priest. This is just some guy chilling under under a tree with a bull or an ox or whatever. And he's peaceful. He's sitting there looking like he could tell you a thing or two. Looks like he has a couple of stories that he could, regale you with, but he's not in a church. He's not in any official capacity. He's literally outside under a tree minding his own business. So that's what it feels like. You might have a certain role to fulfill, or role or path that you're going to walk towards or walk down, but it feels unassuming. So again, if you want to do something like this, read tarot, go for it. By the way, I support everybody who wants to do it. It's an amazing tool. It's amazing. Oh, it's just great. If you want to do it, do it. I don't feel that you aim to do it to this or anything else to be influential directly. I don't feel that you're doing it because you're on a power trip or an ego boost. You're not looking for those things. I think it literally feels like in some capacity, you're meant to commune with other people, speak to other people, lead groups, small or large, be helpful to others. This feels like service in some type of way. And it's fulfilling work with the sun right next to it. And it's so fulfilling, it probably doesn't feel like work. That's the dream, isn't it? And to do something, well, they say for your job, for your career, you should do something that you love and you'll never feel like you worked a day in your life. I doubt that that's true in all the cases. But it feels like whatever you would eventually end up doing, it feels so good to do it that it doesn't feel tedious. It doesn't feel taxing. It doesn't take, not that it doesn't take your energy, but it doesn't leave you second guessing yourself. You're at peace with it, and you're calm, and you're collected, and you're coming down the path right down the middle with temperance. You're balanced. That's why I think this is the chilled. That's why I had to choose this deck, because the chilled out peace man, kind of very nonchalant, non-assuming, very, no golden robes, no ancient texts that are hidden away that only the Hierophant has a key to. This is like an open air church kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like everybody's welcome. You can come as you are. You can sit through service barefoot, whatever you need to do. There's no real structure, ironically, with this Hierophant, which represents some type of structure, traditionally speaking. Okay? Yes, thank you. I grabbed it and I was like, we're probably going to go there, even though we could have jumped back out. Now, underneath that position, you have the Empress. So this is a further sign for some of you about pregnancy, fertility, bringing children into the world, if not, through pregnancy and birth, maybe with adoption and fostering, because the Empress is just an amazing caretaker and a nurturer. Now, is this Libra? Because I feel you're all up here in the top row. Let's see. In some cases, this is you. In some cases, this is someone else. They made that very clear. So some of you are giving birth to either children, or you're adopting, or you're giving birth more metaphorically to great ideas and new endeavors, or just, maybe you're giving birth to yourself. I don't know specifically any type of self-development or healing programs that do that, but I'm sure there's a lot out there that tell you to embrace the new you kind of feeling, right? In other cases, it's another person who, again, is giving birth, either your partner or a close friend of yours or someone that you work closely with. This could be the muse. I said something about muse earlier. Did I say it was you? You might be the muse. This could be the muse as well, or that's where muse comes in. But this could be your inspiration. This person, if they're external from you, could be the inspiration. Because, the Empress, beyond the archetype of being, abundant and full of life, full, well, yeah, literally full of life if they're pregnant, because you can see that this character is pregnant, right? Beyond those things, I think that this Empress is also very alluring, very charming, very enchanting, right? If this is love, which, you know, I've been speaking so generally that this is the first thing that I felt like, kind of, this could be happening in your 3D life right now. If this is a love or romantic situation, I feel that you've met someone recently. I don't feel this is for someone who has been with someone for, 8 years or 2 years or anything like that. I feel like this is like super fresh. Like this is like just getting off the ground, or you're just meeting this person. And it's not an intense spark. It's not like a bang. Although now that I recall what I said a few hours ago, I gave a very like lustful reading to Taurus, and Taurus is here in your reading, right? Twice actually, because the Empress is the major arcana for you, Libra, and Taurus. So for the Libras that are dealing with a Taurus, go watch that reading. There might be some overlap. You weren't in that reading, but the connection was so strong, it was ridiculous. Now, I feel that this is like so new, so fresh, so green, like the grass on that card. So green, untarnished, not tampered with, and protected. Because the Empress is very open. She's often seen like she is here in a meadow or out in the woods or in a garden or something like that. She's never indoors. Well, she is indoors in some decks, but she's very much in open spaces, open air, right? And there's a vulnerability that comes with being in the open. However, in combination, Empress, Hierophant, and the Sun, I feel that this connection, if it is a person, your connection with them or that person themselves is protected. It doesn't feel... It feels like they come from a very pure, and I have used that word twice today. It's not a word that I like to use, but this person feels like they come from a pure place. Maybe they have inspired you to get on this journey of spiritualism or opening yourself up to your spiritual side. They already could be an accomplished medium or clairvoyant. They could already be an accomplished Reiki master. This could be the person you learn Reiki from. Whatever. You guys are having... It could be love. It could be friendship. It could be anything. But it really feels like a meeting from your central spaces. So that's like solar plexus and heart chakra. And I think I mentioned that in the Taurus reading too. I feel you feel pulled to the... If it's another person, for some of you, there's no one else here but you. So you're feeling this with yourself, which is possible with a Libra, okay? You can definitely throw out your own positive vibes and then reel them back in and kind of make a cycle within yourself. Now, the draw here is coming from your central areas, or your central chakras, right? So your heart and your solar plexus, that's what I feel. And they feel that too. And it's beyond anything really carnal. Although the Taurus reading was super carnal. So if that's what you're after to hear, that's what you want to hear. If you want to hear that you're going to be knocking the boots, shows you how old I am saying that. Yeah, that's possible between you and this person, absolutely. But for your side of it, Libra, it doesn't feel like that's the main focus. Is a physical connection. I think your focus, if it is a person and if this is about love and romance, your drive is just to be with them. As they might be, as like I said, the Empress, they're like the queen of nurturing, the ultimate nurturer. I think you want to be nurtured by them and nurture them at the same time. That's that cyclical thing, goes back and forth between the two of you. As you give to them, they give to you, and it keeps going around like that. Wow. That's very positive. And I'm so mellow and so chill. Like, by this time, I was expecting my energy to come up. I'm like riding this wave, man. I don't do drugs. I've never gotten high in my life, but I feel how relaxed I am is probably a similar feeling that people feel when they're high. It's like nothing can take me off this vibe is what this feels like. Great, because that's where we started with you, with the temperance. Getting in the middle. Not too much, not too little, not too high, not too low, not too hot, not too cold, just right. All of this together, just right. Final card in the main spread. Six of Wands, victory, as the card says. Victory, okay? Six of Wands is a card of victory, is a card of triumph, is a card of feeling on top of the world, or just on a mountaintop or on a hillside. You know, it's always going to be in a different perspective or a different scale, depending on what area of life we're talking about. You know, this could be about your finances. This could be about your career. This could be, like I said, about your family, starting a family, giving birth to your first child, or the latest addition to your family, whatever it is, and feeling like uplifted because of that experience. So however it resonates in your life, you feel uplifted by this. You feel accomplished. You feel, I don't want to say unstoppable, because Libra, I think you're really in this mellow phase of, I don't want to get too, like, I don't want to buzzkill myself, or I don't want to ruin the buzz. I don't want to kill the high, right? Because that's a thing between people who like use recreational drugs. You don't want your high to get messed up. You want to feel every ounce, every last moment of whatever that feeling is. Again, I've never done it. Don't know if I ever will. And anyway, so this victory also could be a victory over yourself, you know, because again, we went into the triplet where we had, I think, a little bit more of the backstory or kind of the subtext of what's going on. But what's going on the surface, I feel, is this temperance card. And if that's true, you have victory over yourself because you have found balance. You have found a way to walk the middle. You have found a way to keep one hand or one foot in the waters of your emotions, feel what you're feeling, be able to express what you're feeling and be comfortable with it, but also still remaining realistic and grounded. Do you see what I mean? That's a victory. Not everybody can do that. Most people cannot, by the way. Okay. They might have moments of it, but this feels really sustained. Like, you're going to feel this way for a few weeks, maybe a few months. I mean, not every day, you know, there will be bad days, but this calmness and this equilibrium between you, which is something Libra doesn't always get, being a sign of duality, okay? So when you dual signs, Gemini, Libra, Pisces, when you dual signs get that equilibrium, oh my God, it's like a jackpot for you. It's like, oh my God, a vacation from your regular up and down oscillating mind, right? This feels like I'm at a coasting speed. I'm good, man. I'm good. It's like that. Yeah? It's wonderful. I can even hear it in my own voice. I can hear how mellow I am compared to what I was doing in the previous 4 videos. This could also be victory over other people. I'm not sensing anyone else here except for maybe the Empress. And thank you. There are 2 people on the sun, by the way. I didn't really acknowledge them, but there are 2 people there. So there are other people around, but this is the one where the 6 of Wands is the one where it feels like other people who might be in opposition to you, and they're gone. They're gone. In whatever form or fashion, they are gone. You have left them, they have left you, you have amicably split, they don't work where you work anymore, they don't live where you live anymore, they are just out of the picture, or you're out of their picture, whatever. No more. No more. Okay? And it's not adversarial. This doesn't feel like, even though it's a victory, and sometimes victory comes after a fight, or comes after some type of heavy disagreement or heavy arguments. Maybe that was the case, but it's well into the rear view, my friends. They're not here. You're not in their space. They're not in your space. The energy feels pretty severed. In some cases, you might still be untangling some of that energetically. You know, you might be working on that in your Reiki sessions, in your healing sessions, okay? You might be severing energetic ties with people. You might be doing rituals to get rid of that. Burning ceremonies, shit like that, okay? Especially with the victory and all those torches, right? All that fire there, you might be doing some burning ceremonies. And it's cathartic. It's absolutely cathartic. And you deserve it. Good for you. I'm here for it. I like that. Outcome. The devil. I say it jokingly. The devil. Major Arcana for Capricorn. So some of you are dealing with Capricorn. Now, this is one of those times where, one, if you're not initiated with tarot, you're not familiar, the devil is not always negative. And here's how. The devil is often represented by temptation, or represented by, embodies temptation and control issues and feelings of powerlessness or helplessness and addictions and stuff like that. And that might be running in the background. That might be, you know, in the subterranean levels of whatever you're dealing with. It might be in your past, in your history, that some of those issues. But as it comes out in your outcome, I feel that it's a reminder exactly of what I said. It's historical. It's in the subterranean area of your life. It's in the background of your life. You don't have to be prey to the devil anymore, because that's essentially what it is. The devil is a trickster. The devil is an energy or an entity or a person. Sometimes it's in the form of a person that they trick you. The devil tricks you into thinking you don't have what you have, which is autonomy, which is control, which is freedom. The devil wants to convince you that you're stuck somewhere. Now, that coming out as your outcome, I think, is the point. Just a reminder, this energy, this person, these issues in some cases, like I said, temptation, addiction, or whatever, they're never going to go away completely. You can quiet them down. You can put them off to the side. You can deprioritize them, give them less of your attention, less of your energy, give them no credence. But at some point, because we're all human, because we're all walking in very similar fashions with one another, meaning we have ebbs and flows. Everybody has ebbs and flows in their life. So when things are on a downturn, this character, this person, this issue will return. That's why this is here. You're not off scot-free just because you found balance right now. Like I told you, Libra, it feels like a high. I don't know anybody who's ever smoked a joint, hit a bong, you know, pulled on a blunt, and they're still high from the first time they did that. Eventually that feeling goes away, right? So that's what this is here to tell you. This will eventually dissipate. Not that it disappears, not that you and this Empress person or anything else is gone and it's donezo. No, but the that I have, the relaxed feeling that I have, which is again a part of my empathic part, or as I am an empathic person, this is what I feel. This will eventually go away for me and you, right? As the reader, once this reading is over, I'm going to get out of this energy. At some point into October, end of October, November, December, whatever, you're eventually going to get away from this energy, and the devil will return to you. Person, entity, energy, it doesn't matter. You are wise to remember that the devil is a trickster. The devil is a lie. The devil is only as powerful as you allow it to be. There are other, of course, great positive attributes of the devil. But I think that's how they want me to translate that to you, is like, as an outcome, it's still around, the person, whatever, but if you don't give it the power back, the power that you have regained, or the realization that you've had for yourself, the awakening process that you've gone through, if you can keep that as a priority, keep your focus on that, or remember how you came to this point, or what it felt like to get to this point, the devil will not bother you again. You see what I mean? If this is literally about your spiritual journey, and you wake up to something, you get into new practices, right? With the Temperance card, that's a card of action since it is a fire sign card, assigned to Sagittarius. This is action also with wands there. Action also a little bit with the Hierophant, the sun. All of this is like activity, changing your behavior, changing your perspective and your beliefs. If people come around after you've done this whole self-healing journey and they're like, hey, do you want to go do XYZ like we used to? That's a temptation. That's temptation in the form of a human being. You do not have to co-sign on that. You can simply say, no, I don't do that anymore, and walk off. Just because you've gotten here to this place over here that we've discussed in your main reading doesn't mean that the devil's going to stop trying to swing by your house and say, what's up? What's up? You know, and it could be, you know, it could be literally that. Like somebody rolls up on you in turn, especially if you get into some type of partnership with the Empress, male or female, does not matter. And you have this new budding romance or this budding relationship, and the devil, good old ex, the devil is like, hey, what's up? Where you been? What's up? I missed you. You know, I missed you too, but you know, I'm with someone else right now. So thank you for stopping by. Close the door very gently. Wish them well. Bye-bye. You see? Overall energy, Princess of Wands, aka Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You don't have to be dealing with one of those signs, blah, 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 blah. It's a general, guys. But, yeah. Inspiration, again. Feeling motivated, again. Feeling as if you've got purpose, again. And I'm saying again because of the reading. I realize now I'm saying again and again and again. Maybe that means in your life. Maybe you've come out of, you know, a drought of some type where you haven't felt attached to the world, or as if you had any type of impact or purpose here. You have felt adrift. You have felt lonely, abandoned, in some cases destroyed, they want me to say, whatever. With this Page of Wands, Princess of Wands, I think this is for you. Yeah, because the Empress is sort of by themselves. If there is another person, they're probably the Empress. They might be sharing the sun energy with you. This Page of Wands, this Princess of Wands, that's for you. So you have got your mojo back. And it's sort of kind of a big deal. I mean, she's literally dancing on top of fire, and a tiger is wrapped up in the fire, like, and this is a page. This is the lowest of the court cards. This is still an amazing event, or an amazing feat. To dance on fire next to a tiger, that's pretty impressive, you know? So you're coming back to some semblance of yourself, some feeling ready to take on the world, or take on a project, or take on some type of learning process or leadership process. And that's the thing. Let me go back there really quickly because we have to wrap this up. Temperance, ninth house, and the Hierophant. All those things I told you about, being the one that gives decrees and like holds the holy books, right? There's something here about the more you learn and you become a teacher. Okay, thank you. As you continue to learn, and as you step into these points of leadership, right? You might lead a class. You know, a lot of times that happens. I'm not an avid yoga practitioner, or I don't go to yoga often, but when I do, there's often a new teacher, and I'm like, who the hell's this person? Like, I think I saw them here like 2 months ago, and they were where I was as a student, but here they are now as a teacher in the class. You see what I mean? That person probably will still continue to learn different yoga techniques and different stretches and different poses and different breathing exercises and all that good stuff, right? So even though you might step out and lead a class or lead a session, you know, give a speech, you're still in the process of learning. The teacher will never stop being the student. The student will never stop striving to become the teacher, or will always be moving closer to a point where they will have enough knowledge to impart to somebody else. That's that cycle thing again that I was demonstrating before between you and the Empress. Okay? So that Page of Wands or Princess of Wands is furthering that endeavor for you to constantly move forward and learn more, experience more, but then also pay it back or pay it forward in some type of way, okay? Libra, thank you for having this really chilled out energy. I appreciate it. Those previous 4 were very ruckus, very rough. So I appreciate and hopefully this has resonated with you. If you were expecting something dynamic, I'm so sorry. But anyway, if you like the video, guys, the like button is down below. Hit that for me. If you want to leave a comment on the video, let me know how this resonated with you. That would be amazing. Of course, you can share the video on your social media platforms. And if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hitting that notification bell so you can see when I upload videos. Now, Libra. This is the end of our little journey for October. I gave you guys a birthday reading at the end of September. I gave you a mid last weekend. I did a live reading for you guys. So go ahead and watch that if you weren't able to catch me live. And now I've done this. I've done your monthly. Wow, you got all the gifts that I have to give you. But anyway, I will be back soon to do more for you and everybody else in the Zodiac, doing your November readings. I'll probably start those next week. And then, of course, your mids. The no communications reading, those went off pretty well, so I might do more of those in the future. And so if you want to keep up on top of all that stuff, make sure you're subscribed, all right? Libra, I thank you guys so much for watching this video tonight. I really do appreciate it. Take care.